My name's Sam Brookes, and I'm here to tell you why it's okay to be a coffee snob. It's my opinion, and you can kind of take it however you like, but we'll see what we can do, really. So the first things first, I really love coffee. Like, I've got a proper thing for coffee. I would happily not have any coffee for days unless I could have a good coffee. So that was kind of the first time that I really started thinking, do you know, I might be a bit of a coffee snob, because when that person asks me, I say, no, I don't want a coffee. But when that person asks me, I'm like, yeah, I'll have a coffee. Yeah, why not? So it started to grow a bit, and I realised that I started collecting things to make coffee with. So this is just my kitchen at home, you know, some beans, and, you know, the average things like a cafetiere, and then like a bit of Italian. Then I started grinding my own beans, and I'm like, actually, I think I really like coffee. And then I moved down to London from Leeds and realised that there's a whole new coffee world, and it really kind of opened my eyes up. So I started checking into loads of coffee shops, started getting nice little badges from Foursquare, which I really liked, to tell me that I was in love with coffee. So this had kind of been going along, and I'd been kind of finding out about it. And then I got trained to make coffee, and this like really was like a whole new world for me. It was by an Italian guy called Alessandro, and it was in a tiny little espresso bar. This is Alessandro, this is me, and he's bold and angry and Italian, so that's how you know he makes good coffee, right? And it was called La Bottega Milanese. It means the Milan shop. And so this is where I really learned to do it properly. And from there I was like, actually, there's an awful lot that goes into coffee. And like, I started working with this guy more and more, and we built it from like a small shop, and he's now got a massive shop. And I got involved with it the whole way through. So then I started to really understand it. It was like, actually, if I know a lot about coffee, I really can be snobby about it now, because it's not just drinking it, like, I've made it. So then I had to think of an argument for why it's okay to be a coffee snob, because I had to do a talk. So basically, I reckon there's science and there's art in coffee, and we can, like, no arguments here, you can be really snobby on both of those things, and I'm sure you know loads of people. And there's also a load of history thrown into coffee. So brief history of coffee for you in 15 seconds at a time here. Roughly 800 AD, apparently a goat herder in Ethiopia called Kaldi, I don't know how they know that, was the first one, was like, wow, coffee. And what happened was goats ate coffee beans and they got really hyperactive, so like, we're onto a good thing here. Basically, Ethiopians, they traded it with the Arabic world, so it kind of went east, and the Ethiopians had just eaten it like the goats, kind of makes sense, and the Arabs then went, do you know what, we're going to drink this, and it's going to be amazing. And they kept it to themselves for ages, and then the Dutch came in, and the Dutch were like, the rest of the world needs to know about this, this is awesome. So the Dutch then took it back to Europe. France loved coffee, London loved coffee. And basically, amazingly, when I was kind of researching for this, Lloyd's of London, or the London Stock Exchange, was actually a coffee shop to start with. Then loads of traders started coming to it, he was onto a good thing, and then they started trading there, and that's how we got Lloyd's of London. Other coffee things, instant coffee was invented way before we got a proper espresso, because we didn't get a proper espresso until like the 40s, when Mr. Gadger, thank you very much Mr. Gadger, started doing it. So instant coffee was there way before it. So anyway, science, so there's a bit of history, a bit of science. So basically, the coffee machine is where it all happens. This is where the magic happens. But why it's a science is because it's an exact science. To make really good coffee every single time, so that everyone has good coffee, this grinder has to be like spot on. It's like 9 milligrams for a single shot, 14 for a double shot. These are exact measures. You've got to do the grinding exactly the same and make sure that it's on top nick every morning. Atmospheric conditions in your shop will change how your coffee flows through your coffee machine. So if it's off a little bit, your coffee tastes different, and people want your coffee because it tastes the same. So it's got to be an exact science. 91 degrees in there. If it's really, really hot, like 100 degrees, you'll scald your coffee, different taste again. You don't want that. Again, it's a science, it has to be exact. Some stats, I love them. Coffee grows on trees. I didn't actually know that, I just thought it was funny. The bean is actually inside the red berry. Starbucks have enough employees to have the whole residency of California, same size, I don't quite get that. But oil also is the most traded thing in the world, coffee second. Coffee art. This is my coffee art. This is me being childish, this is a weird cartoon thing, but basically it's really arty, and different baristas will do them in a different way. I'm not arty, other people are. This is my mate Alessandro, it's like a storm in a coffee cup. He's angry all the time, so there's his expressionist art. This is more like modern art, this is like modern coffee like espressos, cocktails, sorry. This is like coffee with dinner, it's somebody else's kind of, like the way they want their coffee to look. So also, you can be really snobby because it's really easy. You can have it in just a filter coffee. It's boring, but if you get the good beans, you're fine. Cafetiere can be all French, you know, that's nice. Or you can do it like the Italian way, stick it on a stove and get like really thick, dark, heavy coffee at home. And then you've got like machines and AeroPresses, which do amazing things. You can get an instant espresso just because the air going through the coffee. So I think if we can be snobby about all those things, I think you can be really easily snobby about coffee. So basically, to conclude, you know, next time you have a coffee, think about what's gone into it, and actually, you know, why not be snobby about it? Because loads has gone into it. Someone's really thought about it, and that's it.